Hi guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to discuss the basics of using ITak or ATak for Airsoft. Okay, so right here is my iPhone 8, my old one. I've gone over this before, but the reason why I use a sacrificial phone in this case is I want to be able to hand my phone over to, for example, my team leader in case he doesn't have his ITak or ATak set up without handing out my real phone and risking it getting shot. But also I can just take this thing off while still protected, giving him and being able to be still in the fight or pull security, and we don't have to be bunched up on my screen alone because I can't take it off of my plate carrier or something. One downside that using a secondary phone has is if you don't install a secondary SIM card or a SIM card in there, you're not going to be able to use some features in ATak as well as with my phone that I'm recording on currently, which has a SIM card. But for the beginning of using ATak or ITak just to maneuver around the field, this works fine. So right here is my phone. You can see it is just set up for ITak. So I have ITak, a server app that I'm still working on getting to work, and my browser, data, and pictures just to set up everything in ITak. Okay, so now we're going to discuss the basic setup of ITak. As you can see, I'm in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, somewhere below Ireland, I think, or on Ireland, because I don't want to dox myself, obviously, so I set my location manually. When you first download ITak and set it up, you want to go into settings. You're first going to check out your user preferences. You can type in your name, the color of your symbol, and what type of role you have. You can turn off manual location. You want to use GPS for that, obviously. And your phone number can be added so people can actually call you or text you. And you can text them and call them over TAC. Right, map source, there are many different options that you have, or you can also download your own maps on the plus icon down here. But I just use Apple Satellite because most fields don't need Apple or Apple Hybrid because they're not restaurants or street names on playing fields because they're not marked on official road maps. Okay, let's go to preferences. So what we want to do here is unit of measurement. Obviously, I use the UTM coordinate format because that's what I've been taught in the Bundeswehr and what I can use the best. You just need to choose what you like. Obviously, for me, kilometers, meters, all of that stuff, because I'm European. If you only can use freedom units, then set it up that way. Display, I have that prevent from going to sleep on because I don't want to be looking on my map, right? And then something happens or I need to talk to someone, I look away, and then like after a minute I look back again and it's turned off and I need to turn everything on again. That's like annoying. But one thing that I have to note here is the Juggernaut cases are really thick, so you can't really get to the off button easily. As you can see, it's like kind of hidden away in there. So as you can probably already see, I've activated the assistive touch module on my iPhone. I don't know if something like this exists on Android, but on iPhone it does. You just need to go into your settings app and search up assistive touch. So on double tapping, I have muting and unmuting my phone. Obvious reasons, we don't want to have it unmuted. On one tap, I just have the home button. And if I would hold it down right now, I would turn it off. So I can turn it off without trying to fiddle my thumb or my pinky finger in that little hole because I can't. It's like physically impossible for me. You can customize the toolbar in there as well. You should set it up in a way where you have all your most important tools right up there. So you can just turn them, or you can set them up wherever you need them, which is pretty cool. So that is something that you should definitely look at, and then obviously press done or save. Don't just exit out again. Location reporting, you can set that up dynamic or constant. So either it's dynamic, as you can see here, with different time periods if you're static, moving fast or slow, or constant, but that consumes more battery and data. Everything else in preferences isn't really important, so we're going to move on to the next thing, which is my use case. So I prefer, or for me it's the most easiest, to just use ATak or ITak for orientation and to help me find where I am or where I'm going, and then communication via radios, simply because if you're not like a super serious team, like a LARP group, where you have like big MILSIM events where everybody goes to and you have like a setup server with mesh testing and all of that. For example, if the server host for your group doesn't come to the event, it could be more complicated to set up like an ATak or ITak server, right? Some people in our group don't have phone mounts or don't think they want ITak, don't need ITak, which is obviously okay, we're not some serious like a militia group or something. So I'm one of the few guys who actually actively use ITak or ATak in game. And so my use case is I just look where we are and then communicate via comms, or just look and speak to my teammates who are right next to me. How does a workflow for us look, and what do we actually do when we want to go to a playing field? So as an example right here, we have area M, where we sometimes go to, which is already mapped out. As you can see, we have the enemy and the friendly headquarters and some houses and buildings on there. So we settle for an event or a game day that we want to go to, and we check for a online or somewhere for a map of the game field. If that exists with like predetermined positions and house names and all of that, we will just download it to look at it later. If not, we'll just use Google. Either way, we'll end up with like 2 to 3 or maybe even more guys in a Discord call, and set up everything on ITak with like one guy doing like a screen share where everybody can look at it. And basically how this works is, if we have already a pre-made map, we'll just go over it and install the border, which is the red line you can see here. And then we'll mark every house or everything that is marked on the map as well, but we'll change the name. Why? I'll get into later. And if we don't have like a map from the field themselves, we'll just go on Google Maps, figure everything out, and name the things ourselves. And then when the package was created, one of our guys, the guy who created the package, shares it with our Discord, and everybody can download it and set up on their phone. So why do we change the names? Well, as I said, we communicate over radio, and we don't have encryption because we're not, again, a super serious LARP group. The problem that occurs with this is that somebody on the enemy team could have a dual radio setup. On one hand, he would have his own radio communication with his team, and on the other radio, he would have our communications. That's bad, right? If he could hear, for example, if the field actually provides a map and has the houses labeled as house 1, 2, 3, 4, and he hears, hey, we're at house 1, we're gonna go to house 2 and then assault red for headquarters, right? That's not really good, right? OPSEC. So instead, what he could hear is, hey, we're at blue 1, we're gonna go to blue 4, and we'll assault, or we'll move towards Eagle Eye from there. He doesn't know where we're going exactly, he just knows that we're going somewhere. So that already helps with OPSEC. So now, how do we create a package? A quick disclaimer, because I think it's because I don't have a SIM card in here. I don't think it's because my phone is that old. I can't create markers. I can only create map spots on here. So I'll create markers, which are the little green and blue and red dots. I'll show you that on my main phone later on. But first, how do we actually create a package? Well, we tap the screen, which pops out our toolbar. We go to the package tools. And then, as you can see, I already have 2 packages created, but I'm just going to create a new one. You can either import it from your saved package or from your saved data on your phone. You can download it from the TAC server directly on the TAC app, or you can create a new one on your phone. And we'll just call that example and save it. Boom. Now we'll move, I guess, back to me, and let's just say this is our area where we play. So the first thing that you're gonna want to do is obviously create or import the map border. So you will go to the drawing tool. You can select whatever shape and whatever you want. I like to use the red color just because it sticks out a lot. And then you'll go to the draw custom shape symbol, and you'll just marker the points where you want that line to be and follow it along roughly, and boom, you've just created the border of the map. So now you have a couple of settings to do. You can adjust the weight of the line and the style, so dotted or complete line, and the opticacy as well. You could have it like with a slight red undertone, or just completely make it a red shape, but that doesn't use you anything because you can't actually see the terrain that you're operating on. So I like just to turn it down because it just annoys me. And then what you'll do is, you can see this little circle right here. This is the toggle element for this border. So if you toggle it, you actually get to edit this perimeter, and you can press the 3 buttons and press add to packages, and then add it to our package right here. Cool. Next, let's add something like a house or something. Oh, cool, they actually have a tennis field right here. So what we'll now do is go to spotted map, for example, and name it tennis field. And then we'll change the color to black. Boom. And now we have tennis field. We'll tap that again. 3 buttons, add to packages, example. Cool. What I can do now is if I go to the packages tool again and go on the example itself, on the package, you can see I have the border and the tennis field. I can add other elements. Something else you can do is add attachments such as pictures and also remarks such as the mission text or something. Why that is cool, I will go into later as well. When you save that, you can also, if you press it, import it, export it either with contacts on the ATak app, on the server that you're on the ATak app, or if you export, if you press export, you can share it, for example, on your Discord server somewhere. Now that's pretty cool and all, but you can also go a little deeper there. So for example, what you can do is, let's just say right here and here is the enemy dugout position. And what you can do here is you can select a different shape or a different color and then draw that out like so. And then you can even add a point again to this. So for example, we're gonna add a spot right here, which we will call the breach to the enemy position, so where we can actually enter the position because there's no fence or something. Or for example, what we can also add is a MG nest or something where like a heavy weapon is laying. And this we can also add to example. But what we can also do, which is really cool, is we can add this to a completely new package, which we will just call example enemy position. The border itself as well. Cool. And you might think, hey, why the fuck am I doing this, right? But here's the thing. If I now go to this package, so again, tool, packages, and I go there, I can add attachments such as pictures from drones or something, or pictures of people that we need to capture or anything, or pictures of intel that we need, and also remarks. So a mission. So for example, take prisoners of war, for example. We want to take some prisoners to exchange them or something, or for intel. You can basically create a whole mission package actually with pictures and everything, and for everybody has that on their ATak now. And the cool thing is, what I find really cool, is you can just toggle it off if you don't need it. For example, if it's not your mission or you already did that, and no longer does it annoy you. Okay, so it takes some time for borders to disappear sometimes. That's just annoying, but happens. But basically, if you have like a really well-made target package and you toggle it off, it doesn't annoy you anymore when you're just looking around the map. But then when you need to actually hit that target or something, you can toggle it on again and you have the entire mission package on you, and you have like the orders, the pictures and everything, which is really great. You can even put different frequencies for your radio in there and everything. So there's like a lot to go on here. Okay, so now that you know how to do that, I'll quickly show you how to create these little cool map markers that you've seen before, and then we'll wrap up this video. Okay guys, so as you can see, we're once more in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and I'll now show you how to add these cool little markers right here. So let's just say this is a playing field and you want to marker this house. What you will do is in your toolbar, search up point drop, enter the name. We'll just call this little hut, but because there's already a little hut alpha, we'll do Bravo and change the icon. As you can see, there are a lot of icon options here, and let me just show you one thing. This is, for example, the standard stuff for military as well. This is the standard icons that come with the app itself, and you can see it's a lot, so it's pretty cool. But what I tend to use is just these simple items. So we'll add that for a neutral building, tap on the screen, and boom, we've just added another marker. And it's the same as with the point drops on the other phone. You can just add that to packages, boom, But what you can also do on here, for example, because I have a SIM card, is you can actively share it, broadcast it itself. And something that is not possible on my iPhone 8 because I don't have a SIM card in there. But on here, because I have a SIM card in here, here is the forward observer tag for my other phone. Because it's connected to Wi-Fi currently in the middle of nowhere, and I have him under contacts. So I can, for example, text or call this number or this contact, but he can't respond because there's no SIM card in here. So yeah. So now that you know how to do this, there's not a lot more to discuss in these basic things. Something that I might be discussing later on in a different video is communication via tag. So for example, sharing targets quickly with the pointer function, or a tactical 12 and stuff. But that's something that would just explode this video's length and just get off topic for what this video is supposed to be, which is just ITak basics. So I hope this video helped you guys, or you found it entertaining. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have any recommendations or your own information or tips for me for ITak, please leave them in the comments as well. And we'll see you next week in a new video. And until then, LARP.